Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tomb Raider. When we last left off, we had just come through that door from St. Francis Folly. And we're about to hit some areas where, I'm going to be perfectly honest, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to actually be at, to be honest. Considering this level is called Colosseum, and St. Francis Folly and the Colosseum in Rome, I don't think are anywhere near each other, but if I'm wrong, feel free to prove me wrong. But there are a number of secrets, and this isn't too long of a level, to be fair. It's got some challenging points, but I don't find this to be nearly as hard as the last level, to be perfectly honest. Although we have one particularly challenging secret that we will have to take care of. So we got one lion there, and we got another sneaky lion around the side here. Alright. Now, so you might instantly assume that we have to go in here. However, this is not the case. The first thing to be aware of is this here to the right is dead end. And over to the left the lion. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, he kind of gets the jump on you, and it's kind of hard to maneuver, but there's actually no reason to actually come and get him because this is also a dead end. Now, there is a switch on the other side, which we actually will end up coming around to, but all it does is open that gate, and it's just kind of a shortcut back to here, which you don't really need to come back to anyway, to be honest. But, you know, it's there in case you miss something here at the earlier parts of the level, which is possible if you, there is 2 secrets here before you actually get around to that, switch. So, first of all, we're going to take a run around the whole way. And there is a large mini pack, which is kind of hard to see because of this pillar. But definitely worth the grab. I mean, it's probably one of the easier large mini packs you're going to find, to be fair. But once we've got that, we're going to make the stakes a little higher. And we're going to go to the next height. Now, there is nothing on the ledge behind us. But around here, which is the way we do need to go to progress forward. So, from here, we need to go through that little gap kind of ahead of us there. But before we do that, that was actually really close, there is a secret to grab, which I will show you momentarily how to get. I'm going to take a quick save first, just in case I do mess this up, because these jumps can be rather tricky. So, you probably can't see it from here. I'll see if I can show it off. There is a platform about 4 tiles ahead that is completely flat, past the slopes. It is quite hard to see, kind of blends in with the background, but you'll see it when I land on it, because we need to take a run and jump, and we will land straight on it. And from here then, we have to make a jump across these. It's really hard to get the camera to actually look at what I'm trying to show you guys. That slanted platform, not the one right in front of me, but the one behind it, is it's not actually a slope. You can actually stand on it. So we need to take a wee run and jump at that, which is hard to get the angle for because the camera really doesn't like us. So that's why I saved at the top. Because you won't die from these falls. The slopes will normally save you, but it's just that there are a couple of rather difficult jumps to make. There we go. And then we just need to jump once more. And here's our secret. And what do we get for all of that hard work? Shotgun shells. Yes, that is actually all we get. And it's funny, you can actually see where it is we're supposed to get to from here, but there's no way to jump up to it from here. So, with that secret taken care of, we can move on and actually drop into that area where we are supposed to be going. No, I thought I'd land on it. Oh well. Okay, so once we make our way back across here, we can take a little drop down to here, and we will find a wee little pit with 2 crocodiles in it, which obviously we are going to try to take care of before we drop down. The second one tends to be a little harder to get to come out. Actually, he's come out fine there. There we go. And now all that's actually down here to grab is this small medipack. But considering, you know, you don't really need to take any damage with the crocodiles to get it, it's pretty worthwhile getting. Now, we need to get to the other side of this. And how we do so is this big old crack in the wall. Whoops. Not quite what I wanted to do. So, up we go. And then we get our shimmy game on. Now, before we get the whole way across, just here at its widest point, we can climb up. And it's kind of like that waterfall in Lost Valley. We don't really have a whole lot of room to maneuver. But in here is our second secret. And here we get shotgun shells. Ooh. And believe it or not, that's it. They really like loading us with shotgun shells this level. I'm not really sure why, but they do. So with that out of the way, we can just scoot on across. And once we get, we can just drop. And we can chase this whole thing around and drop down this hole. And this is the other side of that gate we could see. So opening this up does literally nothing more than just open that gate. And opening that gate from that side will also spring that line on us. So you know, you don't necessarily need to. I'm only opening it just to demonstrate what it does. But that's it. So having done all that now, we kind of get into the main bulk of the area where most of the rest of this is going to take place. So we're going to hit a quick save because we're going to run into an old friend. By an old friend, yes, I mean we're going to run into Pierre. Yeah, and then he runs away. So once we've taken care of him, we've got a number of animals down here. And at present, we've got 2 lions and a gorilla. And they seem to be down the far end, so let's take a run around and just take care of them before we drop down. Because as we all know, preserving health is of the highest priority. Oh, come on. You can totally hit them from here. There we go. There we go. And now we take the lion. There we go. Right. That is the patient part of this level done. So we can drop down, and we have a pit here, which we don't really want to drop into, to be perfectly honest. What we want to go is in through here. And once we're down here, the way if we actually fall down here by accident, there is a block on the very far end that we can climb back up through. So, sliding down here, we're going to have another couple of friends to deal with. We're going to have another one in this other room. There we go. There we go. So, with them dealt with, we can hit this switch, which will open a gate that is on the complete opposite side of this Colosseum. And then this switch, which will open the gate just to my right here. We can just shuffle across. To the best of my knowledge, there is literally nothing else in this room. There's no hidden little goodies in corners, which I would have thought there would have been. This seems like the exact kind of place that they would hide or put goodies, but there's nothing in here. Now, this can be where this gets a little dicey. And if these guys get a particularly bad jump on you, it gets pretty bad. So we've come out at the bottom of that pit that I pointed out a couple minutes ago. And it's very easy to get out here. We can just jump. But now that we've done all that, there are 3 lions up here. And we kind of have to just deal with them. So our best bet is to just keep jumping backwards. As we deal with them, we will back ourselves into a corner, but yeah, there we go. There we go. Right, we didn't do too badly there, to be honest. I expected to take more damage, but now the one thing you kind of have to be really careful of when you're doing that is that you make sure you're kind of in tight to the wall, because if you accidentally jump down here, it's instant death. And I have done that on a number of occasions. And particularly if you haven't saved in a while, it can be really devastating. Now in here, there's another line, because they like to drop that shit on you. And I think it's kind of unfair, because you've just fought 3, but if you know he's coming, it's not much of a problem, to be fair. So, from here, this is the gate that we opened on the far side. Now, this can be a tricky little puzzle to work out. So we've got a platform there, which is a pressure switch. We've got 2 gates. In here, we've got a switch and another pressure plate. The pressure plates inside each of these rooms will just open the gate that they're in. But we've got another gate in there which has a switch behind it. That gate is opened by the switch in this left room, and both those gates are opened by the pressure pad out here. So what we have to do is hit this pressure pad so that both of them open, and then run like fuck to hit this switch. Then as soon as we hit that, we need to run as fast as we can into here. And it is pretty tight going, to be fair. Oh, shit. That was silly. It's that gate that's pretty tight. Not that one. So let's do that again. So these pressure pads, they only actually open the room you're actually in. That second one, you know, it doesn't open back up. So let's do this again, and let's not realize that the other gate isn't gonna close. It can be a pretty tough one to figure out when you don't really know what the switches do. You can kind of end up fiddling about for quite a while trying to figure out what does what. Come on. There we go. I don't think it, once we're in, I don't think it can close. And that just opens the door out of here. Oh, I forgot that closes. So now we get to go through here, and this leads to the bottom of the spike pit that I showed. So this kind of leads us out to the other end of the Colosseum. It's worth just being careful around it. You run into it by accident, it does just kill you. You can walk through it like I demonstrated back in, I think it was the Tomb of Qualopec. But it's best to just, if you don't have to, don't. So we just need to keep climbing all this up, and we will come out at the top of this set of rocks. Which, you know, spike pit's there. The gate we went through over to the right there. You know, so just to give yourself a bit of an idea of where you're actually at. So from here, our actual aim is to get up to that balcony there. So we need to take a running jump from here. And then we can take a running jump from here to get up there. Oh, shit! That is really not what I wanted to do. Because now we actually do have to go the whole way back around. That's unfortunate. The tank controls can be a little finicky at times, particularly when you've got some precise platforming to do. I mean, not that I'm blaming the controls, like that was 100% my fault. Okay, so let's do this again. There we go. So what I was trying to demonstrate is the fact that there's literally nothing here. Which I would have always assumed there would be. Like, it looks like you can climb up the whole way here. And you can. But there is literally nothing whatsoever here. So I always thought was pretty disappointing, because it seems like a good place to actually hide stuff. So from here then, we take our running jump, and we are going to get jumped by a couple of gorillas here. It's not too much of a problem. There is a second one. Come on, pal. Where are you at? Like, I can very easily hear you. There you are. There we go. Right. So, we will have to remember this key with the gate, because we will be coming back to that. But what we need to do here, in this rather open place, you can see, you kind of, with the camera when you're far away, you can see that there is something behind that door. And that is, we will go there at some point. But the first thing we need to do is pull this block out. And this switch is the first of a number of them that we need to hit. And when I played through this when I was a lot younger, this is kind of the point where I got stuck because I could never figure out where that door that just opened was. And even to this day, I still don't feel like that it's particularly well directed to where it is. So we need to drop back down. I thought there was another enemy running around down here. Maybe not yet. They intermittently release more and more animals down there. But where that actual door is up in this corner. A place I didn't even know you could get into. Come on, there's a third one up there. I can see you. Okay, fine then. So, we got a problem. Because that boulder is coming our way very soon. And we can't go back. So, what we literally, all we have to do is run forward. Boulder's going to come down. We just drop in that hole. It rolls over us. I have seen a lot of people, and you know it does also work, who say you've got to run and you've got to grab that, which I find a lot harder because if you running jump at it, if you running jump at it, you just bounce back and you're almost guaranteed to get crushed by the boulder. So what you would actually have to do is walk to the edge with... Oh, come on, Lara, stop it. Walk to the edge while the boulder is running right at you. And then from here, standing jump and grab, and it will also roll over you. As long as you're just hanging. But I find just dropping into the hole such an easier thing to do, to be honest. Now, and in here we have a switch, which will open another door. And again, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of information of where that door is. The best thing to just remind yourself of is the fact that every door is another corner. So, and it will go in order. So we started in this corner. The corner straight ahead of us is going to be where this next one is. And the final one is going to be in the far right corner. The one that's all the way over there. But before that, we're going to have a nice another little run-in with our friend Pierre. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you run away. Alright, so with him taken care of again, I don't think we actually took any damage that time around, which is really surprising. This is where our next door is. And again, it's another set of just jumping puzzles. It's not a... Whoa. It's not a particularly difficult one to do, to be perfectly honest. It's all standing jumps. Whoa. That was a bit of a challenge. And once we get up to the top here, we just have to take a run and jump to this platform. To be fair, we probably could standing jump it and grab, but it's much easier to do it that way. And then from here, it's a simple hop, skip, and jump to get. Now, we do kind of have to give ourselves a little bit more room for these jumps because you're going down a level. So you can very easily screw that up. Now, this is where we can find our third secret. And it's very specific to how we do this and do it. It's another timed platform. And God knows you would be forgiven for not realizing how to even open the door. Because there's absolutely nothing in this room that would suggest there's any way of opening a door. And believe it or not, the actual platform switch is this tile that the pillar is on. You heard the sound of a door opening? It's that tile. Where is it? At the very top. We don't get a whole lot of time. So what we actually have to do is aim ourselves so that we're kind of to the right of this platform. Jump backwards. Hit that. And then from here, we take a step backwards so that it opens, and then we start jumping. And we need to be as efficient as possible. And there we go. Now this secret, despite the fact that it is probably the best hidden secret, if not the best one of the reason it is so well hidden is because these bad boys right here are the magnums. And they are an incredibly valuable weapon to get. And plus it has some other great goodies, as well as a large med pack and Uzi clips in the same pickup, which they don't do all that often. Now, so from here, it's just a quick couple of jumps back down. And that, believe it or not, is actually all the secrets in this level. There is only 3 in this one. Which is perfectly fine. I mean, that third one is a real doozy. So, from here now, we go to our third and final corner. And just in case anyone was interested, the magnums here, we have quite a lot of ammo for it. They are a set of dual pistols. They fire at the same rate, but they do a lot more damage, and they sound slightly bigger. Like, that's a kind of a deeper sound, which to me suggests that they just hit so much harder. But we're going to stick with the pistols for now and save those magnums for the times that we really, really need them. Of which there will be. So this one is a very simple one. It's literally just find it, jump up, and the switch is there. But it is very misleading. So we've seen that door open. And most people on first time through this level would assume, oh great, that looks like the end of the level door that we've gone through at the end of some levels in the past. Boy, is that wrong. So we have one last thing to get so that we can finish this level. We've got to drop down and follow this underwater passage. It's not particularly long, and it will turf us out here to where there is a small medipack and a block. Now, we can't really pull that block out. There's not enough space for us to pull it out and get around it, so we have to push. And once we get into here, you're kind of looking around going, there's nothing here. And you're kind of right. There isn't anything here in this room. The sneaky thing about this is, by pushing that block to there, you're blocking what is in this room. Because on the other side of where that block is a key. And it is the sneakiest shit that you would wander around this level for ages trying to figure out what the hell you're missing. And that's exactly what it is. And it is, that key is fairly evident what it's used for. It is for the lock that I pointed out earlier, up in the kind of Emperor's looking booth. But why would you need that, you might ask? You know, what's down there? Believe it or not, that's towards where the end of the level is. Because, and I don't need to be up here. There's actually another gorilla down here, if I remember right now. I don't particularly need to shoot him from up here. I can shoot him from down here because it's only just one gorilla. I wouldn't be too worried about him. Particularly if he's going to run away from me. Okay, so now we need to make our way back up and around to that Emperor's booth. Which does take a little bit of time, but it has got to be done. And it's very important to mind not to run into these spikes now, because I don't think I've saved in a while, and the last thing I want is to lose all of my progress now. To be fair, I could probably do it saving it, but there's only a couple of jumps left that I need to make. I'm kind of feeling okay to risk it. Watch as I just fuck it up now, though. Excuse my French. Oh no, it's this side, isn't it? Okay, so we just need to make these last couple of jumps and we should be fine. Grab that one. And there's no more enemies in this level to the... Well, there is, but there's no more enemies that we can fight in this level. So, that door is now open. Behind this door is a dead end. And I can only imagine the rage and frustration that would have been felt by so many players upon first playing this level, of going and hitting all those switches, seeing this door open, going, yeah, end of the level, runs in here and goes, wait, what? And then, because you've hit that switch in the room with the block, you're kind of like, well, where else can I go? And you would never have thought to go look for that key in there. So this was always a level that I got stuck on a lot as a kid. But because we know now, we got the key, and we can use the rusty key. Where did that come from? Is he out on the Colosseum floor? I feel like he might be. Where is he? Oh. There. To be fair, I don't need to kill him. We don't need to go back that way. I think the whole point is if you decide you have to go back that way to find the key, you've got more enemies to fight. But we don't need to do that. We can drop into the water. And there is a crocodile in here, which is what I meant when there's no more enemies. We can't fight him because we don't release the water from in here. And what we need to do is use this switch to open the gate, which is our way out of here. So all we do is swim down to this channel, and at the point that we cross this threshold, Lara takes control and swims off and completes the level. So there you go, guys. A long enough level, 32 minutes, but you know, a very tricky level if you don't know what you're doing. And definitely a point where a lot of players would have kind of gotten stuck or probably given up on the game. But I don't find that level to be as difficult as the previous level, to be honest with you. I mean, there's St. Francis Folly, it has its points where, you know, it's not too difficult in terms of just getting through the level, but in terms of getting all the secrets, it's much harder than this level. This level is definitely much trickier in terms of figuring out what you have to do. But that's this level down. 100% Colosseum, 23 kills. We probably could have gotten 24 with that gorilla that came into the the actual Colosseum towards the end there, but I didn't really see the necessity of shooting a poor innocent gorilla who's doing nothing wrong. 13 pickups and all 3 secrets. So the next level is going to be Palace Midas. And again, we're kind of jumping around areas from history that aren't connected whatsoever. Obviously, St. Francis Folly isn't actually a place, but St. Francis is an actual saint. And the Colosseum itself was in Rome, and King Midas, I don't think, was anything to do with the Colosseum. I mean, actually, I don't know. He may have been an emperor of something. I don't think he was a Roman emperor. Maybe he was. But anyway, I'm diverging off the point. We're going to crack onto that level in the next part. And until then, guys, thanks for watching.